Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 5th of December. So, first things first, let's look at the potential risk flows today. In fact, we'll have a quick look at yesterday's data there as well. Let's just refresh this. This is going to come back just to today. Let's just have a quick look at yesterday there. Then, so the non-farm payrolls, they weren't too far away from expectation. There yesterday in terms of the ADP numbers, not giving any real clues from that one. What else we got? The ISM services data, final data, both slightly off there, not looking so good, but not in a worry zone, which is below 50. Crude oil inventories, they reduced. So we'll have a look and see now. Today, whoops, he says. Let's go back to today then. There's not a great deal on today. We've got non-farm payrolls obviously tomorrow, but today OPEC meetings are still happening, so watch out on oil. US, it's the weekly unemployment claims, but on the Thursday between the non-farms, the ADP and the non-farms, it might have a little more impact. Normally the weekly figure has much lesser impact to the markets unless there was something significant changing, but there's nothing significant, so not a great deal there. Let me just go across to have a look at any speakers today. Lots of light information here. There we go, we've got some speakers, but all later afternoon, 4:30 UK time, 5 o'clock, 5:15. So we've got two Fed speakers and Bank of England speaker there, sandwiched. Right, not a great deal else going on. Well, of course, apart from the usual things that France no longer has a government as such. Well, has a government, it doesn't, but the politics are in a right old mess. And then we've got the same with South Korea even. It's looking like there's problems there. In fact, if you look around the world, I was listening last night onto, I can't remember where it was now, but of course Germany's in the same sort of mess as it's in terms of its political situation, and there's so many other countries that are sort of shaky at the moment. And then we've got the UK. Goodness, talk about shaky. Anyway, let's have a look at the technical aspects of these markets then. Euro dollar first, and well, it's continuing to consolidate. It's really horrible. I was just speaking to one of the traders in the room here this morning, who's busy. Just suggested he carried on being busy because there's nothing to be seen here. Yes, the whole of yesterday. The whole of this week so far is shown between these 2 points here, and it's very range bound. It looked like it wanted to break to the upside. It's very unreliable when it's sitting. I'll just go back to that 4-hourly picture. So it's not near a low. It's sitting up away from the low, and it's quite unreliable. Now there is still the chance that this could push up, but I think with all the unease within Europe, it's not really going to happen too easily. And normally where we see the euro gain against the US dollar, there's not a lot of adjustment here. Normally on seasonal, we'll see the euro sell off a little bit towards just before Christmas, and then we'll see it reverse post Christmas, but it doesn't really want to move anywhere at the moment. It's remaining strong, and this euro remains relatively weak, so goodness knows what's going to happen post into the new year. But it does look mixed and choppy. So nothing there going on for the euro at the moment. The pound's not much better, same sort of price action. Has got a bit more of a trend. There you go, see it better on the 4-hourly, but it sort of steps out slowly. It's nothing that's going to be moving too quickly. So the last 2 days is it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and we're into Thursday here. It's started, it's sort of in a bit of no man's land. It has got potential resistance just the other side of the R1. A break of that could see it pushing up higher, but it's it's not in such a trend that I think, oh, I want to be in this trade. I just feel like he just could be. You're sitting, when you're sitting in a market that's so flat, you're just sitting in unneeded risk. You're not making any money often, and not even seeing a shade of money sometimes. So US dollar yen this morning, it's come off. I was a bit disappointed. I'd had a couple of points on here. This is the monthly pivot, which it hasn't quite come up to. It might still come up to that, but it didn't even give me the alert into a it didn't catch my alert into the weekly pivot yesterday. It just sold just beforehand. It does look like it's heading southbound again. There is a chance on the break of the S1 here today that we could see it rolling back further. I'm not too keen on jumping too quickly into it though. Stop wise, the most obvious stop is just around about the pivot there, so it's not the best of risk rewards either, but it does look like it could be rolling further. Aussie dollar, the Aussie barely doing anything yesterday. It's in more of a downtrend, but the retracements are a little bit more, a bit bigger. You've seen this sort of retracement coming in, pulling up, the retracement coming back, but it's looking like it wants to put a higher low on the short time frame, or it has put a little higher low on the hourly time frame here. Maybe we will see a bit of a turn point again on it, but it's not really recovered from the data yesterday. US dollar, nothing I really want to go trading on there. US dollar CAD, well there we go, that's the US dollar CAD on an hourly picture. Where's that going then? You go up the time frames and think, well okay, well I get an idea. It's still going sideward, and you go up to the daily as well. It's not really doing too much like most of these markets at the moment. It's almost inside days. So not for me at the moment. The New Zealand dollar, bit of a rally. I really shouldn't call it a rally. It's still sort of got lower highs at the main pattern here on the 4 hourly, the weekly picture. It has, like the Aussie though, managed to put in a higher low. I really just don't like them. The main drift is to the downside on the bigger time frames. Okay, smaller time frames, it's given us sort of mixed messages. We had this sort of break to the upside, and then we're seeing it coming all the way back down again. Not really looking too good at all. Anyway, potential at times, but it's well, if anything, it looks like it could continue to the downside if this yen can hold on to its place this morning. I actually quite like the short side of this. We'll see how it sort of finishes off, and maybe even wait for the next bar and see if it will get a continuation. It's dropped back below its sort of 50.34 in terms of price. Just looking like it's got a failure bar there. Just tried up and failed. Looking softish. That's a potential. I'll come back to that. Don't expect too much in terms of targets on it though, because the markets are ranging quite a lot. Like the euro pound, well, I don't know. I'm looking at that. Let's look at some of the old usual suspects. Euro CAD here, really not doing a great deal either. Is from the dailies, you can just see the pattern it's in or not in. Just very rangy last week, this week. Nothing to be seen there. Aussie yen, I had an eye on. I was really looking at this yesterday, and it still looks like maybe. I quite like that. It's got the best of the trends, the cleanest of trends going on. But I say clean trend. You've got to watch out. You don't put stops too tight on markets like this. It does retrace quite a sizable amount. So we've pulled down here and we've retraced around about a good 61.8, maybe even a 786 on that. Here we've gone even further, probably looking at that. It's at least an 886 on that one. So it's maybe it's a sign it's going to turn around at some stage, but it's still looking softish on this lower time frame. Anyway, just got to pick your trades carefully on that. Aussie New Zealand was a trade the other day, but it's now just really not going anywhere. It came off first thing this morning a little bit further, but now going, as I say, nowhere fast. So it's a struggle, and it's the way the markets go at times. We just get these sort of consolidation phases. You can try and get in and out of them just to be trading, and you can be in and out of making money, losing money. What was I doing yesterday? I was looking at this spot gold there yesterday. Okay, someone's got me on mic. Let me just mute that. That's it. Hear myself talking. Right, yeah, it's a mess anyway. In summary, I was looking at it yesterday just to see if there's much could be done with it, but it really is choppy and ugly. Aussie dollar really not doing too much either. Morning, Phil. What am I looking at? The Aussie? That's not the Aussie dollar at all. That's the equity market. I'm going crazy now. Oil, that's what I wanted. So it's not really. It's ugly. It's just ugly markets running into Christmas. We normally get a little bit of a trend somewhere. Maybe we're there to come, but just not happening at the moment. So there's too much unrest, uncertainty out there for markets to be pushing. Even the S&Ps look. Of course, they've made a new high yesterday. Well, that's a shock. New all-time high. It seems like it's an old record. Just continuing to push to the upside. Yeah, just more of the same. It almost is a case of buying on small retraces. I looked at it. Was it yesterday? I was looking for a little. If it comes back to its daily, it could be interesting, but it's just not coming. Back to its daily pivot every day either. Reasonably solid moves it here. It's a bit more indecisive here as it's consolidating away from the high, and it's not flagging. It's a bit ugly looking. The Dow, let's just have a look at the Dow. I was looking at this yesterday, just wants to continue on a daily basis of pushing into new highs. It is sealing out here, but it looks like it's got the potential. This is when you've got the consolidation at the high. It looks like it's got scope to push on up. We'll see. Assess the Dow. Let's look at UK. So let's look at the FTSE. Really not. It got into the highs yesterday. Sorry, no, it didn't. It was the day before yesterday. Yesterday pulled back. Really back into consolidation zone. Yesterday it did very little in real terms there, and well, today it looks like it's a drift to the downside. If you're looking to shorter equity market, possibly. And then finally, the DAX. Really just it's just the DAX actually. The DAX continued moving up quite nicely yesterday, regardless of all the concerns. Which let's just go back one there. It is now into its R2, which might put the brakes on for this week. It's this monthly R2. It's weekly. It's just been pushing and pushing. Okay, and again it's consolidating around the highs, which would suggest potentially a further push. We saw it yesterday morning there. It's on the 7 o'clock yesterday. It took the push, but the 8 really pushed on. Having said that, beyond that it didn't really do a great deal, but if you're looking for a swing sort of side of things, it does still look relatively healthy. Right, see, I hate going through these markets and finding very little. Nearest thing then was the US dollar yen. See how it shapes up here.